So I want to start this first belief and reinforce that it's so important that you see this, and that at any time that you come across people who make you feel uncomfortable because you want to be a capitalist, that because you want to provide value in the marketplace and you want to create an insane amount of wealth, you know you are surrounded by the wrong people. Let that sink in for a little bit, because I think there is a war going on, a war between the wealth creators and the wealth takers in our society. Now, that being said, I'm going to now jump into the core part of the program as we go through a few of these slides and you're able to take some notes. So the first one is, successful business owners view fulfillment as an important objective. You see, just like the unsuccessful business owners, they come into the world exactly in the same way. They're naked, scared, and full of potential. Now, the difference is these successful business owners, they seek out the secrets of life and sooner or later discover that achieving true fulfillment and satisfaction is the name of the game. They realize that in order to attain real wealth in this world, based on a set of values and morals and the work ethic that's required to make it happen, they have to love what they're doing. And therefore, the love that they have for what they're doing has to be aligned with the fulfillment and enjoyment that they get from what they're doing. Fulfillment and satisfaction as a concept is easy to understand, but is very elusive. You cannot simply say, hey, fulfillment and satisfaction, come over to me. It's not the way it works. Fulfillment and satisfaction is the offspring of being on purpose. There's an old expression I heard a few years ago that goes something like this. The two most important days in your life are, number one, the day that you were born, and number two, the day that you know why. Reaching the highest levels of fulfillment can only be achieved when you are fully utilizing all of your talents, passion, experience towards the realization of a worthy ideal of your life. Successful business owners figure this out and aggressively pursue their purpose, and once they find it, never give up working towards realizing it. They know that if satisfaction and fulfillment is present from the work they do every day, day in and day out, they will devote an incredible amount of time and energy to this process and ultimately realize their goals. They know that by offering a high-quality product or service with authentic passion and enthusiasm will attract their customers, their ideal customers, to want to work with them and ultimately lead to referrals and proper and just financial compensation. Let's take a look at the unsuccessful business owners. They view fulfillment as a practical impossibility. They view this because they don't think it's possible to really gain fulfillment. The work that they do is treated as a job where they clock in and clock out to do a set of tasks. They blame their current situation and set of circumstances as being the culprit that keeps them away from discovering their purpose, and they're fearful to pursue it because they do not know how they will earn an income doing what they love. As a result, they suffer in silence and express their frustration to others throughout their whole lives. You will recognize these people because they say things like, "Thank God it's Friday," or TGIF. "Today is hump day," referring to Wednesday. It seems that they exist to live for 2 days out of the 7. Isn't this sad? Now let me give you a few action steps to make progress on this belief pattern. I want you to assess how important fulfillment is to you. Number 2, do you consider being fulfilled in your business as a practical impossibility? Number 3, I want you to assess how much fulfillment you get from your business and from serving customers. Number 4, why did you give the answer that you did on this previous question? Let's read that question again. Let's assess how much fulfillment you get from your business and from serving customers. Number 5, what can be done to increase the fulfillment you receive from your work? And number 6, is it time to consider a different business? These thought-provoking questions will allow you to transform from being a business owner who's not reaching their full potential because they view fulfillment as a practical impossibility to a successful business owner, one who views fulfillment as an important objective and one that needs to be focused on to make sure that their full talent and ability can shine and result in being successful in the marketplace. Successful business owners view true happiness as real and achievable every day. They understand that it's a state of mind or a feeling that can be achieved through life's journey. They understand that it's not a destination, but it's something that we must strive for every day as we make the most of our time here on our vacation on Earth. The reason I use the term vacation on Earth is to emphasize the point that time stops for no one. I know you've heard that before, but I want you to consider, how many summers do you have left? Go ahead, think about it. Take a look at your age and what you believe you will live to. And that tells you the number of summers you will have. The first time I thought about it in terms of seasons, I realized how short life really is. So where does happiness come from? Happiness comes from being able to have an intersection between living a life that is meaningful and the following: the perception that you are in control, the perception that you're making progress, and the number and extent of the relationships that you have that give you joy. If you factor in those 4 factors, you will be able to determine and justify and see for yourself how happy you really are. We need to make sure we're making progress. We need to make sure we are being active in the decisions we make, and to whatever extent possible, controlling the inputs so that we can therefore forecast the outputs. And we need to make sure that we're working on the most important work of our lives so that we can create meaning. Finally, we need to proactively create meaningful relationships. It's these factors that contribute to happiness, and it is achievable every day. It's important that you realize that our thoughts control our feelings, and our feelings control the extent to which we take actions, and correspondingly the reactions we get in life that constitute our results. So at the end of the day, a lot of what we're talking about comes down to the quality of your thinking. This last part that I've just mentioned is really worth internalizing. Let's take this idea a little bit further. If we realize that happiness is a state of mind or a feeling, but our thoughts impact our feelings, that means we have the ability to impact our feelings through our thoughts. And therefore, we can, in an instant, change our state of mind and create happiness. This is something that unsuccessful business owners don't understand. They believe that their state of mind is controlled by a set of circumstances or conditions or the environment that is around us. They view happiness as a fantasy or only during retirement. They do not understand that throughout their whole life, it's important to proactively create happiness in your life. These unsuccessful business owners strive for and look forward to retirement. They look forward to retirement as going on vacation. You see, when I think about retirement, I think about the word retire. And I think about how retire is often used. For example, a ship in a Navy fleet is retired. What does it mean? It means it's taken out of active duty and put off to the side. It's getting ready to be mothballed. I want to be active, mentally, physically, and involved and engaged. I suggest that you do the same thing. I want you to start to pay attention to these words like retirement and what it really means. You have so much ability and potential inside of you that in order to fully allow it to unfold, it should take your whole lifetime, a whole lifetime of chasing your purpose, and enjoy every moment along the pathway. So the choice is yours today. Are you going to be somebody who builds happiness in your life? Or are you going to be somebody who settles for the conditions and the environment that surrounds you and take whatever comes? Now, I want to give you a few clear action steps that you can use to change the way you think about happiness. I want you to decide today that happiness is a constant state of mind and is always present with you. You must become someone who is generally happy the majority of the time. Of course, we have our ups and downs, but I want you to be a happy person. Number 2, happiness is a function of 4 things. We've talked about it. Your perception of your control in your life, the perception that you're making progress, the number and depth of your relationships, and the extent to which you're doing something that's meaningful. I want you to assess where you stand on all 4 of these dimensions so you know what needs to change and what needs to be improved upon. I want you to write out a list of what you're grateful for and review it every morning upon waking and every night before going to sleep. It's not possible for your mind to entertain 2 ideas at exactly the same moment in time. While you're focused on what you're grateful for, you will appreciate all the good that's in your life. It will help to transition you from doubts and frustrations that you have because you may not be exactly where you want to be at the moment. It's through having this healthy, positive mindset that allows your mind to be open and active, key word, to being able to see new opportunities. Every day I want you to start to make progress to realize your purpose, and this will lead to satisfaction and fulfillment, which are both important ingredients in being happy. Keep in mind that I have written out 2 different beliefs here, one about happiness and one about fulfillment. Both of them are related, but they are also very different and necessary. Choose not to tolerate unhappy people. People who are consistently unhappy. People who like to bring you down to their level because they don't know anything better. If they're your family or some of your friends, just minimize your exposure to them. Go less often and stay less time with them. Identify the simple things in life that are often found in nature's beauty that relaxes your mind and feeds your soul. I want you to also meditate and clear your mind to be fully present. If you follow this advice, you will be a happier individual. And as a happier individual, you'll be set up to be more successful with your business and your life.